This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening and welcome to Southern Cross News. With many Tasmanians still struggling after last month's flooding, Premier Will Hodgman has announced increased funding. More disaster assistance grants will soon be available to people and businesses in 6 of the hardest hit areas. But Labor is accusing the government of a lack of forward planning.
Michael Ditcham was forced to shut up shop following last month's floods. His busy news agency destroyed in the storm.
Basically the whole place has been cleared out, devastated.
The Premier today announcing a round of grants for small business owners, up to $10,000 soon available for those eligible to start their road to recovery. Funded jointly by the state and federal government, available for those in 6 of the hardest hit areas.
The Tasmanian government will step in and step up and provide support to those who may not have qualified for national assistance.
Michael's planning to establish a temporary booth with the funds.
It'll only be a little band-aid job, but certainly it'll give 2 of our staff employment.
$5,000 grants will also be made available to individuals and $2,000 for non-profit organisations to help with repairs.
What has happened in the aftermath is a government scrambling to ensure that people are receiving the assistance that they deserve.
With housing remaining a key priority for the opposition, it's accusing the Liberals of a lack of transparency, claiming it's not accessing $32 million, which could be available for housing funding.
It's extraordinary that we are very close to the due date for that agreement to be signed, and we haven't heard anything from the state government. The state government needs to outline whether they're going to sign up to the agreement or if there are issues with the agreement.
We have recently secured Commonwealth support for an extension of the National Housing Agreement. As to any particular elements of that might need addressing, I can certainly refer that to the Housing Minister.
Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
The state government is calling for tenders to start constructing a new helipad at the Mersey Community Hospital. Once awarded, work is expected to begin in coming weeks, the project costing $1.5 million. The helipad will also help launch Tasmania's first dedicated medical and search helicopter service. Federal Labor is pledging to invest $60 million into upgrading the Bass Highway between Wynyard and Marrawar if the party wins the Braddon by-election and the next general federal election.
The dollars will start to flow from the time that we're elected in our very first budget.
The party says it's already committed $400 million to Bass Highway funding. Tasmania Police is investigating a burglary at Solo Pasta and Pizza in Sandy Bay. The popular Italian hotspot was broken into overnight and a small amount of money was taken. Store owners were today left to clean up the mess. Police now looking for those responsible, and anyone with information is urged to call Crime Stoppers. A 24-year-old Mornington man has been charged after a ram raid incident at Claudia Jewellers in Sandy Bay on Tuesday night. Police allege the man is one of 2 people involved, and investigations are ongoing to locate the second man. Detectives believe the 24-year-old also committed numerous other crimes in the Greater Hobart area over the last week and a half, including burglaries and motor vehicle stealings. Unions Tasmania is joining the battle for Braddon, launching a new campaign targeting wages and job security. Change the Rules will lobby government to change workplace laws to favour employees.
Our wage growth is flatlining. We have increasing numbers of workers in insecure work, and that needs to change.
The group says members are mobilising ahead of cuts to penalty rates on July 1. Thousands are flocking to Mona tonight to be the first ones to see the latest exhibition, Zero. Our reporter Louise Hedger is at Berrydale and joins us now live. Good evening, Louise. How's it looking out there tonight?
Hi there, Rach. That's right. There's thousands of people here tonight, and many of them are already lining up to check out Mona's latest exhibition. 4,500 tickets were given away, and it looks like many of those people have already arrived to join in the grand fun at this grand party and to take in the 60 installations that are downstairs. I spoke with Nicole Derling from Mona earlier today. Let's have a listen to what she had to say.
Having the general public come in, it's incredibly accessible. So that's one of the things that we always try and achieve at Mona as well, is to not have, it's not always kind of skulls and, sex and death, but we're interested in ideas and inspiring, and sometimes they can be fun and playful.
And of course, Rach, tonight is a bit of a prelude to the Dark Mofo Winter Festival, which kicks off next week officially. It's going to be a massive festival, and if tonight's anything to go by, it'll be a whole lot of fun.
Yes, I can imagine it will be always great. Thank you for that, Louise. Louise there at Mona. A new house will soon be sold to raise money for sick Tasmanian children. The property was open to potential buyers this morning and more than 30 groups went through. It's hoped the house will sell before going to auction next week, with all proceeds to go towards Give Me 5 for Kids.
So many people contribute their time, materials, in a time when all of them have no spare time. So, yeah, it's just unbelievable. The love, the energy, the commitment that all of these beautiful Hobartian businesses give to make this a reality.
The Give Me 5 for Kids telethon on Southern Cross TV will air on June 26. Gin lovers from around the world have been celebrating their favourite drink, raising a glass for World Gin Day. Many Tasmanians today enjoying the spirit from local companies as the state's gin distilling industry continues to boom.
Taking a long sip of a much-loved drink.
Beautiful.
And getting into the spirit for World Gin Day.
It's more refreshing than having a wine, especially when it's hot. And if you get a good gin like these that you can have on the rocks, it's beautiful. The Tassie gins are fabulous.
I find that it's a very aromatic drink that has true flavours for different moods.
Today, a global celebration from the liquor made from juniper berries. The flexibility of the recipe helping the industry grow.
So the beauty of gin is that, the recipe's endless, because you can have a few mils of botanical different in one bottle compared to the other, and the flavour's completely different. So I think, you can experiment to your heart's content, really.
Gin is hugely popular. We're very lucky here in Tasmania. We've got so many distilleries that are producing an amazing range of gin. It's a hugely growing spirit, drunk by men and women of all ages, so it's something for everyone.
A well-deserved tipple to kick off the long weekend. Ruby Kamain, Southern Cross News.
Glenorchy has overcome the Tigers in the TSL. A strong second half saw the Pies take the win by 26 points. North Launceston has belted the D's in a top versus bottom clash at UTAS Stadium, and Clarence sent a statement to the competition, handing Launceston a 41-point defeat at Windsor Park. Clarence's first trip to the North for 2018 delivered a heavy blow to the fancied Blues. A 5-goal lead to the Roos by half-time was a big buffer in a game tipped to be much tighter. Jake Cox and Chris Neal dangerous up forward, slotting 8 between them. Clarence looked like a well-oiled unit, while Launceston still couldn't find its mojo. Mitch Thorpe had a howler directly in front of goal, while Sonny Whiting's 150th would have no champagne ending. He set up a nice goal, opting to pass rather than make an ambitious effort from 50, but the Roos were way too good, winning by 41 points. UTAS Stadium had a game on its hands early on. North Hobart kept right up with the ladder leaders until half-time. But the North Launceston powerhouse pulled the plug on the D's in the third term, booting 10 goals as the undermanned visitors fell apart. The final quarter got even worse, the Northern Bombers booting 9 unanswered goals to comfortably win by a gigantic 130-point margin. A bone-crunching contest between the Tigers and Glenorchy, including a textbook hospital pass and a late hit which left one Pie reeling. Tigers went into half-time in the lead, but it took classy passages of play to break through traffic. The pressure exceptional from both sides, including this effort from Blake McCulloch. But the day belonged to Glenorchy. A commanding second half saw the Pies race away to a comfortable win. And 5 of the state's biggest table tennis clubs are competing at the state titles this weekend. Among those playing is Margaret Gabbardy, the #1 ranked player in the country in the over 75 category.
Fortunately, I'm very fit. I live on an 84-acre farm and I have a lot of work to do outside with mowing and weed spraying and all that sort of thing, so it's quite it keeps me fit.
The tournament is unique as the title is awarded to clubs rather than individuals.
Welcome back. It was a beautiful winter's day across the state today. Hobart, Burnie and Devonport reaching 15 degrees with the state's top of 16 for Launceston. 14 the high at King Island, Low Head and Ouse. Flinders Island, Smithton, St Helens, Friendly Beaches, Maria Island and Strawn all reaching 15 with 8 degrees at Lyawini. We can see a low-level cloud streaming into the west and parts of the south of the state today. More low-level clouds streaming over western Tasmania and southern parts of the mainland. Onshore winds have also produced low cloud about eastern Australia. Tomorrow shows the high centre now near eastern Tasmania, while the cold front moves over southern WA. Variable winds around 10 knots tending northerly at 5 to 15 knots in the afternoon. Locally 20 knots about the west and southeast. Inshore morning land breezes and seas to 2 metres. No warnings, so on to tomorrow's forecast now. Sunny and 13 for Hobart and Richmond, 14 for Ouse, 14 for Launceston and Devonport with early frost and 12 the top for Deloraine. Possible light late showers for Burnie with 14 degrees for Strawn and Curry. St Helens and Swansea 14, Whitemark with 15 and partly cloudy. On to Monday for the Queen's birthday holiday, showers about the northwest extending to the northeast and the east coast during the afternoon and evening. On Tuesday, showers about the north and along the east coast, fine elsewhere apart from possible morning fog. And much the same for Wednesday, showers about the north and west, mainly fine elsewhere. Around the country tomorrow, partly cloudy for Adelaide, Canberra, Brisbane, Cairns and Alice Springs, morning fog for Melbourne and storms for Perth. And currently it's clear across the state. Hobart 9 degrees, Launceston 8 and 9 in Devonport. That's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Good night.